Hey, good morning. We are in day 4 of Cave People, and we're each week looking at situations, people that find themselves in caves. We were with David last week, King David. He was not yet the king of Israel. He was on the run from the then king, King Saul. And we're going to pick up in 1 Samuel 24, where he is still on the run from King Saul. This period where David, though he's anointed by God as king, he is not the king of the people yet. It goes on for about 4 years. He's living on the run with Saul trying to take his life. So let me just pick up reading, give you a little context. In chapter 24 it says, after Saul returned from pursuing the Philistines, he was told, David is in the desert of En-Gedi. So Saul took 3,000 chosen men from all Israel and set out to look for David, his men near the crags of the wild goats. Verse 3. He came to the sheep pens along the way. A cave was there, and Saul went in to relieve himself. You know, we're humans. We have to go to the bathroom. So he goes into the cave to go to the bathroom. David and his men were far back in the cave. The men said, this is the day the Lord spoke of when he said to you, I will give your enemy into your hands for you to deal with as you wish. Then David crept up unnoticed and cut off a corner of Saul's robe. I'll just stop there. So get the picture. King Saul's got 3,000 men. He's going to kill David if he gets a view of him. David and his men, we know by this time there were 400 of them, they're hiding way back in this cave. Saul comes in by himself in a most compromising situation to go to the bathroom. David sneaks up and cuts the corner of his cloak off. Now, when Saul goes out of the cave, David starts to talk to him from the mouth of the cave, and he says, you can see, I had you. Why are you after me? Why are you chasing me? You know I've done you no wrong. And I will read you one verse to show you kind of what went on in the dialogue. Verse 12, David says, may the Lord judge between you and me, and may the Lord avenge the wrongs you have done to me, but my hand will not touch you. So David tells him, he says, look, I'm not going to kill you. You're out to kill me, but I'm not going to kill you. I'm going to let the Lord deal with you. The Lord's the one that anointed me to be king. I'm not going to touch you. What goes on from there is Saul has a conversation with David where he's broken, at least for a short time he's broken, and he says, David, you're more righteous than me. Surely you are God's chosen king, and surely you will rule over all Israel. Now, before you start feeling like Saul's repented and he's a good guy, he keeps on trying to kill David after this. But the thing that I wanted you to see is this, the character of David that comes out. When we suddenly find ourselves in life, and listen to me carefully, because we all have our day, as it were, in the sun. And it's our day in the sun that is the crucible of our character. It's that time when all of a sudden everything falls our way. We do have the upper hand. We do, so to speak, have the power. We can do something to kind of justify ourselves or gain vengeance or do something to level those that have mistreated us or slandered us or whatever. What do we do in the day of our power when we can do harm to those that intend to do harm to us? David's character, the thing that made him God's choice for king, was that he didn't believe that power should be used to destroy those that were in and out of God's will. Saul was a mess. He started out as God's choice for a king. He quickly became disobedient. And nevertheless, though, David respected the office that God had put Saul in. And in the day when David could have taken his personal vengeance on him, he didn't. The character that is displayed when we suddenly have the upper hand with people. Think about this, because we all have these. They happen even in daily conversations. You know, we might be in just a disagreement with a work associate or a spouse or whatever it is, and all of a sudden something happens and it's crystal clear. We're in the right. How do we handle those? Those are real crucible of character situations. Do we handle those kindly, graciously, or do we try to humiliate or really rub in on those that are wrong around us the fact that they have been wrong? The kind of character that David displays is the kind that the Spirit of God is always trying to cultivate in us. It's strength with kindness, because without kindness there is no real strength. I hope you'll put this one into practice even this week. Thank you.